Now we're going to have a look through the English Literature Paper 1, and we're just going to survey and have a look at the different questions and go over what's expected of you in these questions. So this is Paper 1, and it will be your Shakespeare and 19th century novel questions. So in the paper, and I've actually printed off a reduced booklet version, you'll have the contents page, which will tell you for your school which page to go to for the questions. So if you are doing Romeo and Juliet, you'll go to page 2, question 2, and that's on page 5. For your 19th century novel, for example, if you're looking at Charles Dickens, maybe you're doing A Christmas Carol, it'll be question 8, and you'll go over to page 11. So you'll look at the page numbers to find out where you are, and the page numbers are at the top of the page usually. So in this paper that I've printed off, I have actually just printed off some that I was doing with my students. So in this, I've got section A, Shakespeare, so we've got Macbeth. And you'll be given an extract from the play, and then you will be required to write a question on it. So the questions are pretty standard. You'll probably come across them. You've probably come across them before. So let's have a look at what we've got here. So it says, read the following extract from Act 1, Scene 5 of Macbeth, and then answer the question that follows. And then it tells you a bit of context. So at this point in the play, Lady Macbeth is speaking. She has just read Macbeth's letter telling her about this meeting with the 3 witches. So remember, this is Act 1, Scene 5. So this is from the beginning of the play, fairly near the beginning, but at the end of Act 1. And then we have a speech by Lady Macbeth. So we're going to come back to the question. Let's look at what the actual question is. So it says, starting with this speech, explore how Shakespeare presents ambition in Macbeth. Write about how Shakespeare presents ambition in this speech, how Shakespeare presents ambition in the play as a whole. So let's look at this. So here we've got an extract question. This is question 1 of the paper. We're going to look at the second section, and then we'll come back and look at the questions more in depth. So in your booklet you'll get for your exam, there'll be more pages to flick through, but I've just printed off to save paper the questions that my students were doing. So let's look at this. So this is section 2, and I've got my Charles Dickens Christmas Carol question. So let's look at the top. And the languages are similar. So read the following extract from chapter 3 of A Christmas Carol and then answer the question that follows. In this extract, the ghost of Christmas present shows Scrooge, the Cratchit family's Christmas celebrations. So if you're studying A Christmas Carol, you'll have read A Christmas Carol, and you'll think back to chapter 3. You'll think, okay, this is Ghost of Christmas Present and looking at the Cratchit family. We have our extract. And now let's look at the question. So starting with this extract, explore how Dickens uses the Cratchit family to show the struggles of the poor. Write about how Dickens presents the Cratchit family in this extract, how Dickens uses the Cratchit family to show the struggles of the poor in the novel as a whole. And this is 30 marks, this question. The previous one is 34 because it has spag. Actually, no, you got spag for the whole, so 4 marks for spag and organisation. This is your English literature paper, and you will be required to answer the 2 questions.